You are the inspiration. You made me win myself. Had it not been for you to lit my way, I wouldn't be where I am today. May the Lord indeed protect both of us. May He indeed nourish both of us. May we acquire the capacity to study and understand. May we both put in the exquisite effort. May the study be worthwhile to both. May we not disagree or hate each other. Om, peace, peace, peace. So chanted a teacher and student, a Vedic seer and his humble disciple, before they both together integrated their mind, body, and soul into the ultimate reality. Our Vedic seers were great educationists. They were riveted in developing the total personality of their disciples. They treated their students with reverence and caring and were keen that they turn out to be flawless citizens, perfect human beings who manifest their inner divinity and sprinkle its brilliance everywhere. This educational vision included the whole gamut of human life and ultimate well-being of the individual and the society. They kindled a spirit of inquiry coupled with respect and devotion, intense love to attain knowledge and zeal for constant self-development were embedded in their approach to education. The Taittiriya Upanishad contains a section dealing with what a student should do after he completes formal education called Shiksha Anushasanam, Rules for a Study. In the modern context, this section gives the timeless wisdom which the rishis had derived from the experience and wholesome understanding of life. And it also specifies the attitude the student had to imbibe to obtain true knowledge from the teacher. These rules are now consistent and hold good even now, despite transformed circumstances. Right now, we are here to put our heads together on few of those unfailing ones from the 10 Commandments for students that the Vedic teacher reiterates to his outgoing students. Today, let's interpret and integrate these age-old yet ever-young practical truths in the light of modern learning and education. Hold on to self-study and teaching. Swadhyaya pravachanabhyam na pramaditavyam. That is, never neglect study and teaching. In recent years, there is a misconception among few that learning ends with schooling. But a well-equipped prodigy's mind knows that learning never ends. There is so much left to be done. Here, the teacher urges his graduating students to never neglect study and teaching. This advice is of profound meaning that there is no meaningful teaching without diligence and continuous study. In fact, reflection is the one that precedes teaching. Those who strive to be phenomenal teachers know the countless hours that they spend often in solitude that go into the preparation of a worthwhile public lecture. Here the teacher unveils the necessity to integrate all three processes of learning described in the Upanishads as hearing, reasoning, and reflection. Sravana, Manana, Nidhyasana. These days one speaks of knowledge society being managed by knowledge workers. It is interesting to note how the Upanishads, in that remote past of world history, gave so much importance to the cultivation of love of knowledge and spread of the same knowledge to others. Self-study means always keeping ourselves conscious of what is happening, not only in our field of interest, but also studying our motives and developing the habit of self-introspection. Not only should we acquire knowledge through reading books or articles or a judicious use of internet, we should also be willing to share our knowledge with others. This teaching of what we know ultimately helps us to clarify our ideas and make them grow. As someone said very profoundly, if I have $1 and you have $1 and we both exchange, we both still have $1 each. But if I have an idea and if you have an idea and if we both exchange, we both will have 2 ideas each. This is possible only when one practices self study and shares one's knowledge with others. As somebody very subtly said, learning is just a give and take policy. Achara priyam dhanam aharitya. That means bring wealth to your teacher to continue his educational work. This phrase basically means to bring wealth to the teacher. We had seen in our epics and other works of scripture that how giving the dakshina or token of gratitude for the teacher is held high at the end of formal education. This statement also means to help more students to obtain the same knowledge that one received from his teacher. But then, when we have a close look into this statement, it conveys a tremendous truth implicitly. Does wealth has only monetary aspect? Do we not accept today that wealth includes happiness, satisfaction, and acquiring of knowledge? So here's a paradoxical statement. The more wealth you give away to your teacher, the more wealthier you become. Sounds confusing, right? But let's comprehend it correctly. Today, modern psychologists have discovered that each one of us have limited cognitive currency at a particular instance. Now we need to understand the precision that our teacher had when she said, pay attention. As the expression pay attention suggests, when you focus, you're spending your limited cognitive currency that should be wisely invested because their utility is very high. At one moment, our world contains too much information for our brain to depict clearly. So, the more cognitive currency that we invest with our teacher, the more prosperous we are. As Swami Vivekananda said once, what makes the difference between man and man is this Shraddha. That is concentration and nothing else. What makes one man great and another lower is this Shraddha. So today, we have conceived ideas based on 2 of the 10 commandments that the Taittiriya Upanishad urges students to equip themselves with in order to make their learning to manifest itself as a divine understanding. Today, we students constantly search for lasting solutions. The values that we discussed now contains hints to see everything from a deeper perspective. In order to grasp their true meaning, one must meditate on them, practice them in daily life. With the promise to meet soon with the remaining 8 rules and more drops from the eternal ocean of knowledge, from eternal Indian minds, we take a leave from here. Om, lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from the darkness unto light. Lead us from the death to immortality. Om, peace, peace,